All right, so we're going through a foam rolling. Make sure we hit the calves, lower back, upper back with extension. The upper back with extension just means after you're done hitting your upper back so this will be obviously be low back, make sure your hips are high. But when you go to upper back, roll your shoulders forward by giving yourself a hug. Let your head come over top of it and relax around the roller. But then when you're done, and you can lean to one side a little bit more than another. But when you're done this, put your hips on the ground, put the roller just at the bottom of your shoulder blades, and then you can either leave your arms where they're at, tuck your chin in, and reach around. So you're coming down nice and slow, keeping your lower back flat and neutral by keeping your stomach engaged a bit. So we don't have your lower back moving. It's really just mid to upper back, or you can put your hands behind your head. You just got to be a little more careful here so that your lower back doesn't go into extension or start to move. We want the upper back moving. So you should feel pressure in your mid to upper back here, not your lower back. And then you're just holding that as a stretch. So as a hold or a static hold for about 30 seconds or so. Take a bunch of deep breaths down there. And each breath you want to try to get a little bit lower than the other. And you'll come back up, reset, and do that one more time. And then the last one, after you've done that, is hip flexors. Which means you're just going to let the roller push into your hip flexors by leaning to the side a little bit. You got to do one at a time. So I'm on my left side and I'm pushing it to the top of my hip and then down just to the bottom of your pocket. If you have pants with a pocket on, just try to imagine that. You're only going down like 3 or 4 inches and you come back up. So roll out both sides of your hip flexors, and you can lean to one side a little bit more if you want to. And if it hurts too much, make sure that your non-working leg is on the floor, taking some weight off of your hips. So we got both sides there. Then we'll use the roller. You don't need a roller for this, but we'll do a good 20 plus second, maybe 20 to 30 second hold. 30 if you can stand it. You're gonna go hurdle stretch. So we got the roller underneath. We got one hand forward, one hand back. Both legs as straight as possible. And then pick up the back knee. So your back knee is close to the ground, but not touching. So you should be like an inch from the ground back there. Arms straight, chest up. And just try to relax there. Deep breaths. So these are holds. Trying to hold all these stretches for about 30 seconds. Hey, Deanna.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, switch it up. So get yourself your front leg as far forward, your back leg as far back as possible. Both legs are straight as possible. Pick the back knee up. Keep your chest elevated. And your front foot, most people screw up and bend the front foot too much, or front leg. Try to make sure that your front leg is straight. So you're pulling your toe up, trying to straighten out your front leg while you're trying to straighten out your back leg. If you're doing it right, it should hurt. Should hurt a lot. All right, don't need the roller anymore. We're going into 90-90. So we got 90 degrees on both front and back. So we're going 90, 90, then separate that. Keep your chest up, hands out, and try to square yourself up with your shin in the front here. So we don't want to go out into your foot or go too far back. Square yourself up to your shin, reach out in front with your hands. Drop your head last. Don't drop your head until you got your hips right at 90 degrees. So your hips are at 90, back's flat. You should feel a big stretch into that front hip. And then once you're in the right spot, you can make it a little bit harder and more intense by dropping your head. Feeling the stretch go all the way up into the back of your neck. Just try to relax down there, 30 on each side. Okay, switch it up. So 90, 90. Separate as much as you can. Shoulders are square to the front shin. Reach out and drop your head last. Good. Time. Next one, child's pose. Last one for your static stretches. So position yourself with your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, feet down. Don't put your toes down. So feet down, so back of your foot or top of your foot's on the floor. And then bring your hands out, I don't know, about like 5 or 6 inches forward, about underneath your face instead of your shoulders. Slowly push your hips back. If you're having a hard time getting down, you go a little wider with your knees. Push your hips back towards your heels. If you're doing this right and your arms are straight here, because you've positioned them forward, you should get a stretch into your shoulders also. Drop your head. All right, take a break. Tiana, I'm going to put the workout back up in the chat so you can see it. I don't think it was there for you.
Okay, thanks.
And now we'll do a warm-up. Our warm-up's going to be 30 on, 10 off. So before we go through this, though, we're going to start with a dumbbell external rotation, which you guys have done before, especially with your virtual workouts. So it's a shoulder exercise. This one we're not doing time because of the fact that we want to be controlled and we want it to be right. And it's kind of a strength exercise, not so much cardio. So we're grabbing a light weight, probably like 5 to 10 pounds, keeping your elbow at 90, your shoulder stays back, and we're gonna go up and down about 10 to 12 reps on the right and the left. We'll just do one round of these. So right side and left side. 10 to 12 reps, 5 to 10 pounds. Hand stays facing the floor, and make sure your wrist is neutral. Don't let your wrist bend at all. Make sure it's nice and straight. Gavin's got a little combo going on there. I like it. It worked. Big thing with this is as your hand comes down with the weight, don't let it pull your shoulder forward. Keep your shoulder back. So your shoulder blades are pinned back the whole time as you let that dumbbell fall down. And then for the rest of this thing, the only thing you're going to need is a long stretchy band, and that should be it as far as equipment goes. So we'll go through this whole thing 2 times, 30 seconds on and then 30 seconds off. I'll get the timer going here in a second. So 10 seconds to switch is not going to be very long, so just pay attention. First one we're going to do is a windmill. I think I have my band back here. Yep. All right, so we're going to start in 10 seconds. First one is a windmill. So grab the band, make it nice and long. We're going to go around the back of your head, both arms straight. Don't let your elbows bend. If your arms are bending, give yourself more band to work with. So we'll go about 5 or 6 reps in one side, and then we can switch directions. So if you're going clockwise, go to counterclockwise. Okay, next one, RDLs. So put that down. One foot goes in the floor, both hands down to the floor. Come back up, bring your knee up. So it's here. Come, move quick. Don't go too slow or you'll lose your balance. Push your knee forward, push your knee back. Forward and back. So you're pointing your knee forward, pointing it back. We got 30 seconds on one side, and then we're doing 30 seconds on the other side. So it's 3, 2, 1. Good, and then we're gonna go to the other side. Same deal there. You're pushing your knee back behind you, pointing it towards the wall behind you. That's your bottom.
Flat on the floor, Jeff.
If you can get them flat, but don't have to worry about coming down that low. It's not a big deal. Chances are if you're going down to a flat hand, you're probably gonna bend your knee at the bottom, which isn't, we wanna try to keep that leg straight. But the main thing is that you're getting a big stretch too. So a big stretch on that bottom leg, right? Okay, now we're gonna take your band again, and we're gonna go with a little bit more tension than the windmill, and you're just gonna go up and over. So give yourself a little bit more tension. Maybe wrap it around your hand once or twice, depending on what kind of band you have, and just go up and over. Arms nice and straight. You don't have to go into half kneeling unless you want to. Half kneeling is gonna give you an extra stretch on your hip flexors, which is cool. But if you wanna stand up, that's fine too. All right, next one is a prisoner squat. So lock your hands together, put them behind your head, feet shoulder width, and squat. All the way up, all the way down. So all the way up to a straight, nice and tall position, down to about knee height with your hips. Breathe out on the way up. Make sure your hands are behind your head. If your hands are behind your head and your elbows are back, it's going to allow you to keep your back flat. Good, take a break, take a break. We're gonna go steel jack. So feet together, hands together. This is the one where we're going in and out, nice and quick. Arms and legs stay really straight. 3, 2, time. Good. We got a wide and narrow squat. So hands out in front. We're going wide, slow. Narrow is quick. Stay nice and light on your feet. If you can't stay light on your feet, stop and take a break and then keep going. You don't have to keep going continuously for all 30 seconds. And time. Take a break. We got the last one on the ground. So you're going to go down to the floor. We'll do a straight leg roll up. So nice and tall, all the way up towards your toes, and then come down slow and roll down. So when you come down, your hands stay close to your legs. And then when you come up, you can swing your hands forward. So you're here, coming down slow, 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring your hands back and come forward. Breathe out on the way up. Good. Take a break. We're going back to the top. We're doing your windmill with your band. That's with your long band. You're going around the back of your head. Give yourself about 7 reps and then switch directions. And time. Take a break. Throw the band down. We got RDLs. So we're doing one side at a time. This is your RDL right now. All right, drive the knee forward. Push the knee back. If you're having a hard time with balance, pick a spot on the floor and just look at that spot on the floor. 10 seconds left. And time, take a break. And we're switching to the other side. And go. Ten seconds left. And time. Take a breather. Grab your band again. Give it 1 wrap or 2 around your hands. We're going up and over, so it's going to be tighter. You should go slow. Take your time with it. Barely be able to get your hands behind your back. If it's really easy, make it tighter.
And that cuts off circulation to my fingers.
That's okay. Your fingers will be fine. It's only 30 seconds. 10 seconds left. Your fingers don't need, I think your fingers can go for like an hour. How long can your fingers go, Gary, without blood flow? You would know.
Till they fall off your hand.
Well, yeah, but that's like it's a long time, isn't it? All right, we got prisoner squat. Hands behind your head, feet up, just about over width.
You want to see gangrene on our fingers or something? Or is that frostbite?
Yeah, this is like CrossFit, so you can show it off. Like if you had a hard workout. I had a hard workout. I almost lost my fingers.
Oh, cool. What were you doing? Oh, I was doing hand squats. Oh, okay.
All right. Next one is the seal jack. So your hands together, feet together, arms straight, legs straight. Don't jump too wide here. Make them quick and powerful. So you're staying relatively narrow with your feet. Your feet should kind of stay close to you're not going out too wide. You're going out to about shoulder width with your feet. Almost done with this stuff. Three, 2, 1. Take a break. All right, we got wide, low, and narrows quick. And tall. Go ahead. Five, 4, 3, 2. Good. Last one. Last one is your roll up on the ground. Everything's nice and straight. Up quick, and then roll down. Roll down slow, one vertebrae at a time. Don't flop down. Nice job. Take a break, guys.
I have to tell you, I did almost lose a fingernail in class.
What?
But it wasn't, I know it wasn't directly caused by the class, but indirectly. Because I had some bad condition messing around with my nails, you know, with COVID. And she caused it to be weak. And then I went to go pick up a dumbbell in class. You didn't see it, but like, oh man. I mean, it was, I was bleeding. I disconnected it from the nail bed. So I thought I was going to, but I did. That same week, I hit my head on the dumbbell in class too. I was having a rough week that week.
All right, let's all be careful with these exercises today.
Yeah. So you joke about losing a finger.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, things happen.
All right, guys,
We need some weights for this one, right?
we need some weights. Well, some weights. First one's a power step up, so we just need a chair for that one. But if we could use weight, a little bit of weight, that would be great. We don't have to. So 3 movements, and we're going to go through the whole thing 3 times. And the workout, it does say 8 minutes in each one. So it's considered an AMRAP, but you don't have to do it that way. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to do 3 rounds through the entire thing. And then we'll move on to the next set or the next station. Chances are everybody will be somewhat on the same timing. And if you're not, don't worry about it. I'll catch you up or speed you up if I need to. So first one is this first circuit is a power step up, which is lower body. We got right side, left side. Then we're doing a dumbbell floor press. And then we're going to do a Turkish get up, but it's not a full Turkish get up because you guys will hate me. It is a half Turkish get up, just the bottom portion. So your power step up is done with a chair and a little bit of weight. And the weight is going to stay in the front here. So don't put the weights down by your sides. Keep them up into your chest. All right, we're going one leg up. That leg stays on top the whole time. Don't let it come down, and you just keep it right there. So my right foot's on top of the chair. That means I got 8 to 10 reps just on my right side. My bottom leg stays straight as I come up. That's important. So you're not using the bottom leg and the top leg. So it's not, we don't want to be 50 and 50%. So 50-50, we want to be 100% with just that top leg. So you're leaning forward, push your hips back, chest up, drive through your front leg, come down slow, and repeat. Give yourself about 2 seconds or as slow as you can come down without falling down. Go ahead, get started.
How many reps?
8 to 10 reps. You can adjust. If it feels too easy, you add a little bit more weight. Chances are it's not going to be easy if you're coming down slow and you're not using that bottom leg. The main thing is if you're not using the bottom leg. If you're using your bottom leg, it's going to feel easy. So 8 to 10 reps. Keep some weight on the outside of your front foot, or your top foot, so the one that's on the chair. Make sure you keep weight on the outside of it. So all these first three movements are 8 to 10 reps. The next one after your step up is your dumbbell floor press. Now, if you have the right weights at home to do 8 to 10 reps to fatigue with both hands, then that's fine. You can do both hands. Otherwise, maybe you only have one heavy dumbbell. That's fine. Just do one side and then the other side. Okay? So don't grab two 10-pound weights and do 10 reps. And meanwhile, you probably could have did 50 reps with that if you really tried. That's not going to work. So grab the heavier weight that you have. If it's got to be one side at a time, that works too. Try to stay in narrow. So at the bottom, your hands are pretty much right into your ribs here. At the top, you can rotate a little bit, but don't bring your elbows out. Keep them in tight. And then you're just tapping your elbows on the floor. And if this is way too easy for you, Gavin, which it might be, just go to a regular push-up.
Yeah. Okay.
It depends on the weights. You know what I mean? So if you got weights and you're banging out reps and you just did 12 and you could have doubled that, then it's not really where you need to be. Go into a regular push-up. Just remember, it's the same form. Elbows staying close. Hands are about right underneath your shoulders. All right, then the third movement, so keep doing what you're doing, guys, but the third movement is a half a Turkish get-up, so just the bottom portion, which means we're going to use a little bit of weight. So I only have this is a 7-pound dumbbell. You don't really actually want to go too heavy. Probably going to max out at 15 at home. You don't want to go too heavy. So we're doing right side, left side. So the dumbbell is going to be, or the weight's in my right hand. So that means I'm going to bring my right foot up. So my right leg is up and my right arm is straight. That stays constant the whole time. So now all I'm doing is I'm leaning to the side, pushing to my elbow, hand, hip, hold, come down, come down, come down. So it's like 3 movements. We roll, push to your elbow, to your hand, and then your hip. That's 2. And repeat. Keep that at 8 reps for today. So 8 reps on one side, 8 reps on the other. When you're coming up, you have one leg is straight, completely straight. One leg is completely straight, the other leg is bent. Gavin, move your left foot forward a little bit so you can bridge more. There you go. If your foot's too close to your body, you're not going to be able to bridge. You're going to feel like you're all your weight's on your toes. So you push through that heel. You're trying to keep that weight as straight up and down as possible. Don't let it lean. If as soon as it starts to lean one direction or the other, you're gonna have to fight it.
What were these Turkish people thinking?
What's that?
I said, what were these Turkish people thinking?
You know.
They're getting too complicated.
I don't know what they were thinking. After you're done those, you're going back to your step up, guys. So that's your last movement. We got 2 more rounds. So you're going into your single leg or power step up. And you're trying to come up quick. So come up quick. That's why it's called a power step up. But make sure you're not using your bottom leg. Bottom leg, stay straight. Hips forward. So your chest up. You're driving to your hips. Before you come up, that knee should be right over top of your foot. If you're starting out with your knee forward, it's not gonna work as well. You're gonna put too much pressure in your knee. So we want as much hip as possible. It is possible also if your knee's bending too much that your chair is a little bit high, but I don't know how many options you have. So 8 to 10 reps, both sides. Remember, eight is fine. 8 reps is fine if the weight's right and you're not using your bottom leg. In fact, we'd rather you do 8 reps to just about failure as opposed to 10 that don't look so good and you don't hit failure because the weight wasn't right. So you're done your step up. You got right side, left side. Then you're going into your press. So you're either your floor press or your push up. But most of you guys are just doing that floor press. And your tempo, we're not going specific here with tempo, so it doesn't have to be a certain way. So whenever we don't list tempo and we're not going crazy with saying it's got to be 4 seconds here and blah blah blah, just remember that it's generally going to be slower when in that harder position. So the easier position. So in this case, when you're pushing up, that's a little bit harder. We want to come up quick, and then the easier position is on the way down, and that's where we want it to be about twice or half the speed. So it's about 2 seconds or twice as long rather on the way down. So 1 second up and about 2 seconds down. Hopefully everybody's confused now. So 1 second and then 2 seconds. Just remember that. If there's no tempo specified, it's 1 and 2. You just got to figure out which one is the 1 and which one is the 2. And the harder one should be the 1 second portion. So in the Turkish get up here, you're coming up quick and then take your time on the way down.
Turkish get up.
If you're Turkish and you feel like we're offending you, I apologize. Proud, yeah, you could be. You'd be proud to get up too, I guess. Keep your arms straight. Don't let your elbow bend. Guys should be on your last round.
good, that was my foot.
I'm gonna wait for at least two people to be done completely, and then I'll start explaining round 3, or 2 rather, round 2, but regardless of where you're at. And then we'll catch you up if we need to. All right. Gavin's done. Lisa's done.
I'm done.
Gary's done. Marianne and Deanna, you guys are pretty much done it also. All right. It took forever, but it's okay. Good job, guys. Round 2. This one's gonna be much quicker. That wasn't your fault that it took a long time. It's just you had a lot of right side, left side stuff. So this one's gonna take. This one's a lot quicker. First one's gonna be right side, left side. So the first movement's gonna be a weighted one leg hip thrust. So we can elevate your foot a little bit to make it a little bit more intense and give you more range of motion, but you don't have to. You can elevate it with either a chair or a ball, or if you're using a decent amount of weight, you don't want to go too high, so a roller is fine too. But your weight, this would be way too light, but your weight, either a heavy dumbbell or kettlebell, or even a medicine ball would be okay too. It's going to go on your hip and you're pushing through your bottom heel. So you're taking the weight, putting it on the same side that your foot is down on. Other leg goes straight up. So this leg, you want it to be straight up and down at 90 degrees to the floor. Don't let it come out too far. Straight up, push up, hold for 1 second at the top, 2 seconds on the way down, 1 second up. So it's 1, 1, and then 1, 2 on the way down. Okay, so you got right side, left side, 8 to 10 reps. You're gonna follow that up with something that is 20 reps. So you're going right into, this is where your reps change a little bit. So you're going right into a jump squat. You don't got to jump too high, but we do need to keep your repetitions quick. So it should be about 1 rep every second. So hands are out in front. And you're just coming off the ground just a tiny bit. 20 total reps. And then the last thing is a suitcase deadlift, where you're just going to take your heaviest of dumbbells or kettlebells. If you only have one, we can modify it. But your feet are going to come in about shoulder width, so not as wide as that squat. And you're going to go with a roughly a straight leg, but you're going to bend to the bottom. So start out by driving your hips back. Come down as low as we can. Ideally, it's about to the floor. And then you're driving your hips forward. So it's about 2 seconds down, 1 second up. That one, that one's 8 to 10 reps.